Alright guys, so this is our last lesson for this week, and it's about apostrophes. Okay, we took this week and last week that we use an apostrophe. Okay, when we want to make a contraction. A contraction is a short form of two words. Alright, it says here an apostrophe takes the place of letters that are left out of words. Okay, and as you see here, this is the symbol or what an apostrophe looks like. Okay, a contraction is a short form of two words. So we use an apostrophe to write a contraction. A contraction is when we want to join two words and write it in a short form and make it one short form. Okay, use an apostrophe in place of the O in not. All right, example, we are not all in the same skit. If I want to join are not, we will write it like this. We aren't all in the same skit. Okay, I just want to remind you that we took contractions the contractions that we learned this week, okay, and last week is when we joined four verbs with not. We took is and not, right, and we joined it by making is, and we put the N next to it, and we add the apostrophe, and we write. So is not becomes isn't. Are and not becomes aren't. We write are and then the N for not, and we take away the O and we put an apostrophe instead, and then we write T. So is not isn't. Are not aren't. Okay, we use isn't and aren't in the present tense when we want to tell about a person, a place, or a thing. Okay, and we also took a contraction for was and not, right? The contraction of was not is wasn't. What do? We write was, and then we write the N, and we take away the O, and we place it with apostrophe, and then we write the T. So was not becomes wasn't. Were and not becomes weren't. We write the were and the N for not. We take away the O and replace it with apostrophe, and we write the T. So is not isn't. Are not aren't. Okay, was not wasn't. Were not weren't. We use is and isn't and aren't in the present tense when we want to tell about something now, and wasn't and weren't we use it in the past tense when we want to tell about something that happened in the past. Okay, if we go to the page, where our textbook page, it says here, I want you now to get your textbook page, stop the video, get your textbook page, and let's try to answer it together. Okay, it says draw a circle around the contraction that can take the place of the underlined words. I told you the contraction is almost the same, but instead of there's a missing letter, and we replace it with an apostrophe. So number one, the masks were not dry. Okay, the underlined words are were not. What is the contraction of were not? Weren't or weren't? Okay, remember, the missing letter is replaced by an apostrophe. So we choose the one that has an apostrophe in the correct place. It takes place of the missing letter. So it has to be between the N and the T. So were not, the contraction is this one or this one? Of course this one, because this one has an apostrophe and the other one does not. Okay, it's this correct spelling, but it does not have an apostrophe. Number two, Sam is not in, this is not supposed to be underlined. Okay, Sam is not in this class. So is not, what is the contraction of is not? Is not like this? We put the words together without doing anything? Or would we take away the O and replace it with apostrophe? Of course, we will choose the one with an apostrophe. All right? Next, the project was not finished. The project was not finished. Which one is the correct contraction? The one between the N, the one with the apostrophe between the N and the T, or the one after the T? The one between the N and the T, because this is the place of the O for not. So this is the correct this is the correct contraction. Number 4, the tape was not on the desk. Which one is the correct contraction? Was not or wasn't with the, this is the correct contraction because it has an apostrophe. We are not done yet. We are not done yet. That means we're not finished. Okay, which one is the correct contraction? The first or the second? Of course, the first, because it has an apostrophe. Okay, I think this is a very simple lesson because we already took contractions with is and are and was and were. Now, this is a quick review of what we took this week. It says draw a circle around the correct word in each sentence. Okay, so here we have to choose between was and were. My mask was and were in the, was or were in the trash. Okay, so although this sentence doesn't say last week or yesterday, we understand that this sentence is in the past because it has was and were. Okay, so how do we know which one to choose? We go to the subject. What is the sentence about? My mask. Okay, so my mask, is it one or more? It's only one mask, my mask. So that means when we use there's only one, we choose the one with, we choose was. My mask was in the trash. Okay, number 2, drops of paint were in the trash. Drops of paint. Okay, the sentence is about drops of paint. Like when the paint falls, it makes drops. Okay, so drops of paint. Drops here is plural. More than one. Drops. There's an S. So what do we choose? Was or were? We choose were. Drops of paint were in the trash. Okay, number 3. The mask, again, were or wasn't a big mess. Here, the sentence is about the mask. Is it about one mask or more? It's about only one mask. So do we choose was or wasn't? Were or wasn't? I'm sorry. Were or wasn't? Wasn't. Okay, the mask wasn't or was not a big mess. We will choose wasn't because it's only about one mask. Now, my mask is or were all set. Okay, so here we have one word from the present and one word from the past. Okay, not important. Let's just go and try to find out. Here we said now. Now means something is in the present. Okay, and my mask. So there's only one. Which one shows you that it's happening now? Is. What else? My mask. So it's talking about only one mask. So which one shows you that's happening now? Is. And which one talks about it's happening now, or about that this is only about one mask? Is. So the answer is. Now my mask is all set. Okay? We aren't or weren't in the next skit. All right? We aren't in the next skit. Okay, next it shows you that that now they are also shows you that it's about something that happened that is gonna happen. Okay, so we are not in the next skit. We cannot choose weren't because weren't shows that something already happened. All right? So that's why we chose aren't. We are not in the next skit. This is about something that happens in the present. Okay. See you guys in the next